that time just went. Man. Wow. Hello, and welcome back to another One Line of Code. I am One Lion. We recently got done with a community day, so I'm just going to jump right in. I'm going to continue doing the thing that I ended up doing on community day. For everyone else that is only watching the normal streams, which is what this is, the workday stream, I have started writing tests since the last video in this playlist on YouTube, and brain just took a dump. And we went over some of the tests on stream. I'm currently just refactoring it a little bit to pull some of the methods that are being reused out into this helper class, and then we had a nice conversation about even using a helper class. So it's possible we'll refactor it even further as far as making it so that we maybe have, because all of this is based off of this data file. So maybe we're going to have our own implementation of a data file, imported data file, with all of these helper methods on that imported data file, like give me the xth import field and all of that stuff. If you've been following along, then you should know what an import field is by now, an import record field descriptor, which is just a column descriptor for one of the rows that came in during the file read. Okay, so there's those. You are now in import data objects dot. Okay, and URA dot get import field for this specific one. I'm kind of not liking the auto surround. Like I think I need to find the setting to turn that off. I would rather have to push a keystroke to do the surround. And what I mean by auto surround is if you have something selected, they change it to where now if you put like a square bracket or curly braces, it will surround whatever you have selected, leaving it selected so you could delete it. But in a lot of cases, I move the mouse immediately after, or move the cursor, caret, immediately after I push my parentheses or bracket or whatever you want to call it. Whatever it is that I am choosing. Okay, anything else that I can place? Give me the get field mapping. Oh man, chat was disconnected from me for a second there, but it's all good. It's all good. So welcome into anyone that is new here. I have been working on a data import utility. I started off with writing the library and also this is for my job. I started off with writing the library and then putting a UI on top of it in order to continue fleshing it out, getting the things to work the way that I wanted. In Wednesday's stream, I was encouraged, and I will say it that way, to write tests to test the functionality of the library instead of trying to spend my time creating this UI that I'm going to have to change anyway as I change the functionality of the library. And I just thought it was a great idea. So I went ahead and wrote some tests over yesterday. And we are at a point where I have written tests up to the point of the remaining functionality that I want to implement. Okay. But just to show the app real quick, or the UI that I did create, because it has been helpful still to visualize what the process is. And it's an application. The library is intended to be used to be able to select any kind of Excel or CSV. And I believe I'm going to assume that TSV works as well. I don't have any TSVs, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be easy to transform the CSV into a TSV. In fact, I may as well try it now. Edit notepad. I need a tab character. That's the problem. Every editor that I use uses spaces in place of tabs. So we use Word. That's not Word, that's old email. No, I'm not gonna waste my time doing that because it does take a little bit more effort because I don't have a tab character. Ooh, what if? What if I just open one of the other workbooks? Copy a couple cells, paste and that gives me a tab character. And then if I select all quotation mark, comma, quotation marks and replace them with quotation mark, tab, quotation mark, I now have a tab separated file. Save as all TSV. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so I have a tab delimited file. Loads. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh this so we have nothing loaded. Here's my TSV. An error reading the file. Okay, so it can't read TSVs yet. I kind of remember seeing that you can tell it which character to use for your delimiter. But anyway, point is, you read the file, gives us a data table back. I'll just say that that's long and short of it. It does all of this setup because this is our target object. These are all of the properties from our target object. And these are all of the fields that we imported from this file. And you can choose one that is going to be used for the destination. I don't know, let's just say it's CAS. CAS will be our installation. With that, you can say, if this is your input value, and you can see all of our possible input values for this field that got imported within that provided file, you can do things like interpolate. You can map one value to another. So let's say that we had a regex match and I wanted to extract all numbers using regex. Then my resulting set is this array of strings. And so I need to do another operation on it. If I try to do something like a substring, then it says you can't do a substring on a collection. If I try to do an interpolate, or no, sorry, a map, which is where you take a value, you look it up in a table, and you get back the matching value. If I try to do a map, then ooh, I just thought of something else I can do with the map. But anyway, if I try to do a map, then it outputs a value correct. No, it doesn't. Okay, so it gives us an error because you can't do a map on a collection. You get the point. Substring, map, and another regex match will not work. Or maybe it will. Okay. Regex does not work on a collection either. The only thing that is valid currently on a collection of strings, which I'm probably going to filter the rule if you know your transformation selections in the UI when we get to that, if you have a result that is a collection of strings. But the only one that's valid right now is interpolate, and that way you can use these little placeholders to output however you want. 9 taco 75, and you can see that it's applying to all of the possible values. Oh, right, another thing that I didn't show during Community Day that I did in the UI between Wednesday's stream and today was I made it to where you can change which value you're previewing. So if you are trying to use something that has a lot of different values, then the one that is currently being previewed throughout your rules while you're defining them can be selected. So that was a lot of fun. Blue's here. I don't have anything crazy for show and tell, but maybe next week. So you missed Community Day anyway. That was 2 hours ago, 2.5 hours ago. But you did post something in Discord, which was... Where even is Discord? Do you remember what channel you put that in? Ah, general. Can I pop out the video? No, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull Discord over. So this was something that Blue was working on. It's just pretty much a GIF or a GIF. Again, you know what I'm talking about. Doesn't matter how it's pronounced. President Nosher says, I don't envy you working on that task there. It's actually a lot of fun. I'm sure that there is some kind of library out there that already does go from CSV to C# class. But yeah. But the thing is that I'm putting so much pressure on myself because I learned about it in the end of September. It was supposed to be done within the first few weeks of October, and here we are November 1, still not done. And that was kind of frustrating. It was a hit to my ego, but that aside, I think we're going a great direction. I'm getting more practice writing unit test and integration tests, and I'm loving that. Loving it. I have an overwhelming amount of work to do, but I'm having so much fun. Yeah, exactly. That's the sentiment. And that's how I usually am anyway, is I have a lot of fun with the work I do. Okay, I'm stopping the UI of the app because we're going to keep working on this. The rule that I'm working on is the combined fields rule. So this is a PWA, a WebAssembly app, so I can still show you the UI and it's interactable still. But the goal of this one is, let's say that one field is supposed to be one destination field. So my target class is this ChemRec record. Let's say that one of the fields is a combination of various import fields. And I'm thinking this is where I'm going to do the calculate as well, where we might have a condition. If this is nanograms, then the output should be the result divided by 1,000. The result times 1,000. Anyway, there's some weird stuff that happens with, they want all of their stuff to be in milligrams and picograms, micrograms. I don't know, one of them, mu-grams. But as you can see, we also have exponent. Well, I don't know if you can see that, but we have these things called the exponents, which means that we'll take a mantissa and then we'll times 10 to the exponent. So we still want the numbers to be pretty much the same as this. So what I'll probably end up doing instead is saying, if this is in nanograms and this is a relatively small number, then output the exponent times 10 to the however many we need to get from the units to milligrams. I would say the game is half done now. But the self VA is cringy. What is VA in this context? Virtual assistant? Voice acting. Oh. I'm sure it's fine. You should leave it. It'll be great. Okay, so the combine rule is the one that I'm working on now. The first test passes, which is if there are no actual transformation, no fields selected for combined fields, then it returns null. It's ignoring that field. Ignoring goes in quotes, obviously. But if we have a field that doesn't have any transformations, then it should, or this should be has fields, field transforms, because it needs more than one. If it has one, right, maybe that needs to be a test also. But if it has one field, then it should act the same way that I wrote the interpolate operation. So interpolate operation is if there is only one element, right? How is this working? I need to revisit this. Point is, if we are using a placeholder that doesn't exist in our set of placeholders, or in like if we only have one string and not a collection of strings as a JSON array, then any number that is outside of the bounds of that collection of strings. Oh no, this is right. Thank goodness. Is just going to output the placeholder. I felt this way, this exact same way today. The comments were, WTF are you doing? Okay, so the one that I really care about this time around is what happens when we pass it a JSON array collection of strings. And this should output as 280-this. And finally, let's say that we use a number that doesn't exist in that collection, such as in 3. And we'll tag that onto the end. Let's give that a quick go around. Why are you trying to get okay, so the combined fields is good. Interpolate I. I'm getting a failure where I wasn't expecting one. Interesting. Apparently, I don't know how I wrote the interpolate operation. I could have sworn that I told it to take whatever the whatever the value is previously and check to see if it deserializes as a string array, which is what I'm doing. Very odd. Okay. Hello, TBD. Haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? I don't know who told you that, Deflex. I mean, I don't have the mature rating turned on the stream because I don't curse very often. But yeah, it's a mindful and respectful place, not necessarily intended to be PG family friendly on purpose. Just respectful. That's all. And for some people, that means not using foul language because it's offensive to them and I don't want to offend people. But to me, foul language, it shouldn't even be called foul language. It should just be called language. It's the language that some people communicate with. And that's that. All right, I'm going to debug this test real quick because I was not expecting that to fail. And that is a valid test that I want to make sure passes. So our previous result is this. Oh, it's an invalid array. Oops. Okay. That's my fault. It's always, I mean, it's all my fault. But in this case, it was an unintended side effect of not paying attention. Okay, so that still works. We know that the interpolate works with collections. JSON, collections represented as JSON. Specifically a collection of strings. TBD is saying to Deflux, I think you're confusing things with that one time you woke up for my stream. Awesome. Okay, so we need to get this one to work. We're expecting 28 PN interpolated. And we got back 28 PN, and that's because the apply for, no, excuse me. Oh wait, no, this is correct. This is definitely where we go. The mapping rule called hello. Do I not have an overridden apply? I'm so lost. Where are we? We're looking in rules and we're looking for the combined field rule, and apply just returns the input string. So what I'm going to do real quick to implement this is head on over to my interpolate operation. Nope, those are interpolate operation tests. Nice try. Close enough. How about the actual method or class, interpolate operation? And so throughout the stream, for those of you that haven't been to a stream, to these streams before, or any streams that I do while I am doing my day job, I do welcome any information that you give me. I will take them or leave them as I see fit. I will be a little bit more or less. I will be a little bit less. Hello, Andreas. We were just talking about you. I wonder if we can do a shout out for you again. Andreas Sass. Yeah. Oh, actually, I don't think we ended up doing a shout out for you at the end of Community Day, but I saw that you were streaming and then you ended as soon as I was starting to end. Well, not as soon as, a little bit before I was ending Community Day stream, but now we are back to work. So as I was saying, I do get distracted on occasion, but I'm trying not to be distracted because I am doing my actual day job. But that does not mean that I don't want to communicate with you. I get a lot of ideas from you guys. I get a lot of encouragement. I get a lot of energy. So I really appreciate you being here. And I welcome any comments and stuff about what you see me doing. Just know that if it seems like it's trying to be trolly or nerd snipey or whatever, distraction is the best during streaming, except when you're trying to do your job. But if I really needed to, then I would just stop streaming for the rest of the day if I needed to buckle down and focus. But I'm here, which means that I want to talk with you guys. I'm opting in to conversations and stuff. I'm just asking if you could limit the amount of trolling and nerd sniping and stuff. Yeah, that's all. And also, I would ask that you don't get offended if I ignore what I perceive as trolly behavior. T-Flick says, I'll try. No promises. Nerd sniping is when someone asks a question about an interesting technology topic that makes you go down a rabbit hole completely distracted and stuff. You can troll, but I'm going to ignore you if you do troll. And by ignore you, I mean that I will no longer trust that I can have a conversation with you that is in line with being able to do stuff. Wait, what? So ADHD oversharing? I don't know. Maybe. It's like if someone were to ask you about a deployment methodology that you're very familiar with and they know that you are good at it and have seen you talk about it and know that you're enthusiastic about it, so then they will ask you about it to get you to stop doing what it is that you're doing. And it's like, we can have an amazing stream together where we're talking about the things at hand and technology and stuff, and you're maybe talking about the things that you're doing as well. But if you're intentionally trying to divert me, that's where I need to draw the line while I'm doing my work product. Community Day is all about talking about whatever we talk about. Okay, where am I? What are we doing? So the thing that I'm currently working on, though, is, like I said, work product. So this is a library for turning an Excel file or a CSV into a C# collection of target class. So what I am testing is the combine field. Right, and I was heading over to the interpolate operation, which is a value transformation operation, and I'm going to use pretty much the same logic for... Yeah, it's actually going to be the exact same logic, so I might end up just reusing the interpolate. I'm just going to reuse the but then that creates a dependency from the mapping rule to the interpolate operation, which is fine because the only place that the combined fields rule exists is in the library that has all of these predefined rules and value transformation operations. So what? Var. So, oh, that's the other thing that I need to know. How do I get the fields that are involved in this? It's the list of field mappings. Is it the list of field mappings? It's the list of oh my gosh. What is it called? Field transformation. So this thing needs a public list of field transformations. Get set. And with that, I have successfully killed chat because people are afraid to talk. I'm not going to ban you or time you out. I promise. You can chat. You can talk about things. And over time, you'll see the things that I respond to and the things that I don't, and then we'll have a good time. Okay, so we have our list of field transformations. Exactly. Is quacking okay as well? You don't have to ask. Quacking is absolutely okay. No, I just started working. Hello, G-Bone. Nobody's home. Nobody's. Oh, I love your emotes. They're so cool. One day I'm going to grow up to be like you. I'm going to have emotes in Everfin. I got like 2 emotes on the channel. 2? Is it 2? 3. I have 3. All made by Bob Ross. The Twitch user, Bob Ross. Bob Ross RTX. Oh, 2 of them are made by Bob Ross. One of them was made by my wife. She was just playing with an app, threw these things together, and it created this really cool looking lion thing. And I love it. So I kept it. I'm using it. It's just looking to changing my username to reflect my transition. Cool. So is there a different name that you go by now? And I will do my best to remember, but when you show up in chat and as Anna in the future, I'm gonna be like, who are you? You're like, oh, come on. I'm writing it down though. Is she a lioness? No, she is not. She is actually a fey creature. Yes. Very cool. Hello, Fox B17, which looks like what color? Okay. Go by she, her, they, them. Prefer she, her, and Anna. Okay. So it's not going to be hard for me to remember. I call Peter Peter all the time. What? Coding. Okay. So I have my field transformations. What I need are the individual results for the field transformations. So we'll put that into an array so that I can JSON serialize that array, because all of the results are going to be values. But the first thing that I'm going to do is get the results themselves, because it's possible that some of those results may error. I'm going to do this in the same way that I've been doing the other ones. Combine fields rule. It did work. Anna Sass Dev. Amazing. I am currently working on a data import utility for my job. Oh. My marquee is lying to you. Okay. Extension, combine fields, rule extensions. And so this library is intended for the user of the application. The developer of the library to create a an application for users to use. But anyway, the point is that we are making it so that you can choose a CSV or Excel file, drag and drop it into this UI. It reads the, not onto the page, into the actual button, or click the button and select the file. It's just that when I click the button, it opens up my file explorer and it's on the thing that I use to pick my thumbnail, and I don't want to change the directory in this UI. Anyway, you get it. So this is where I pick my thumbnails and stuff. I saw a post, there is a class epidemic, teachers are banning kids from playing chess. Ooh. So anyway, they choose a file, it gets turned into a data set with 0 or more data tables. You pick a data table and then you map it to your desired output C# class. So it's a way of going from CSV or an Excel workbook's worksheet, a specific worksheet from an Excel workbook, to a C# class. And the reason that we need this is because we originally were sending, I work at an wildlife refuge where we have a lot of people that take care of checking our water and soil for any kind of contaminants, because it used to be a military installation where they manufactured chemical weapons. They didn't do a good job of disposing the chemical weapons, and then another company came and was manufacturing pesticides, and they weren't doing a good job of taking care of where their waste went. So the environment got contaminated pretty bad with a whole bunch of chemicals and caused a whole bunch of issues with animals, with crops, with people. And so there was this big cleanup effort. Cleanup effort is done. And so now we have a few applications that I maintain for monitoring the chemical levels and the plant, the fauna and flora of the environment in the wildlife refuge. Anyway, so we take soil samples, water samples, send them to a lab. Lab does analyses on them, gives us the results. That's done through this application here, and I show it off because I like the laughs. All of these apps were originally JSP. Art hack. All of these apps were originally Java servlet pages, and when I first got here, my job was to convert them from JSP to some Microsoft technology. I chose MVC in .NET Framework because that's how long ago I got here. And in doing so, I tried to keep the majority of the UI the same. I did change the actual login form part to make it look like this, but I kept the same background, and the rest of the app is styled the same as well. So this is what the original app looked like. Once the lab does their tests and stuff, they generate a text file that's fixed width. It looks kind of like, I should have just opened the HTML page. It looks kind of like this, but without the column headings on it. So it's a fixed width, and this app in specific is expecting this file, this formatted file. It's the only type of file that it can receive, that it can parse, that it can turn into our objects that we need to dump into the database. Now, though, we are sending our lab samples to different labs, and they will send us back an arbitrary Excel workbook or CSV. And so we needed a way to take the data that they send us back, map them to our expected format, and then do all of the same analysis and stuff that we do from our track on that data. It sounds like a very responsible job. Thank you very much for that. And thank you. It's a very fun job. I did stop working there for a while, and now I'm back. So I was streaming a different side project, But you can find all of the streams for what we did on that side project on my YouTubes, as well as all of the streams from when I started streaming this work product up until now, which is about 2 weeks of it. And it says, why though? That sounds like something a teacher would do, about the teachers banning kids from playing chess. Because the kids are getting too smart. And we can't have that. They need to be subject. All right. Public static result set. Apply. No. Transform result. What am I doing? Apply this. Oh. No, this needs to be good grief. Combine fields. This. And what am I going to do? I'll make it easier on myself. Enumerable of transform result. Transformation result. Man, I keep forgetting what I called it. Field transformations. No. List of field transformation. I'll help. And then string result detail. Oh, rule detail. I got this, okay? I got this. This is static. And you're just going to return the same thing that all of my value transformations do, which is surround it with a try catch. Oh, wow. I need to update this to where my mapping rule base gives back a transformation result. Just to get rid of some squigglies, you're going to return yeah, it's kind of crazy though, because I want this to be on a string. Definitely, but I need it to return a transformation result. Okay, and thank you so much for the follow. And you, I look down too slowly. Was it a follow? It was a follow. I say thank you for the follow, but it's a bot that comes in and just spams. I've been getting attacked by this long-lived chaos bot, as I'm sure many of you streamers have been as well. And happy Friday, Juan Van. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We had a great community day earlier. About 3 hours ago is when it started. We ended about an hour ago and had some conversations with TBD Gamer, had some conversations with Peter and Deflux. Lunch with the wife, always fun. Long live the Banhammer. I do like how they're still using the same username, display name, but they use a different login every time. Craziness. Okay, so because all of my base classes, I guess I should say that there are 3 ways of integrating this library, or three intended ways. There will be 4 by the time I'm done with this. The first way that I'm going to open source is you just get the source generator. And the source generator creates for you the mapping rule base and the value transformation base and all of the stuff for if you want to extend them to create new rules and all of that and implement the way that it works yourself, you can. So you can reference just the source generator. We're going to update that source generator real quick. And one of them is going to be this apply, which is you are going to return a transformation result. Oh, not transformation result. Value transformation class name. Nope. It's transformation result something or other. Transformation result class name. Slightly OT off topic. Should I think of Blazor components as C# classes or web components? C# classes and web components. So they aren't web components though. They are definitely C# classes. But you can think of them like web components, the way that you would use a web component. A web component would be a fully self-contained component by itself. Yeah. Yeah. And now that I say that out loud, you can kind of think of them as web components directly. But web components being their own thing, like Blazor components are C# classes. Blazor components are like web components. Yeah, that's how I'll say it. In that they are blocks of HTML that also have logic with them. Result. Okay, so that means if I do this, we're going to go into the second way that you can interact with this. But if I do this, then you're going to see that I've updated the source generator for this specific object. But if I go to see the object itself, it's not going to have the updated code mapping rule base. So this still looks like we have a public abstract string apply, but it's not really. Yeah, it's not really. So what I'm going to do is close Visual Studio and reopen it. I was just thinking of trying to, do I fix the other places first that like I have the public override string question mark apply in the copy rule, or do I just go ahead and restart Visual Studio so that you can see that with source generators, if you change the definition of the source generator, even though it builds, even though the rest of the application will treat the objects as, or at least when you build, will treat your updated object as having already been generated, it still won't look like it to the linter until you restart Visual Studio. And so now we can see that it has public abstract transform result apply. And when we go into the copy rule, it's right here, you see that it is incorrect because the signature is wrong. So we change this to transformation result. And this is going to be transformation result dot success with the value as value, and we're not even going to worry about original value. Okie dokie, so that fixes that. Anyone else want to give me an error because you're expecting the result of dot apply to be a string? Oh, the ignore rule, right. Transformation result One thing that I learned from TBD today, ooh, maybe I do want this to be nullable. Dagnabbit. One thing that I learned from TBD today was how to actually use Restream chat. It wasn't working for him for a while when he was streaming, because he streams to both YouTube and Twitch, and it wasn't echoing the chat like he was expecting it to. But he found out that he needed to change the order that he is. We'll get to this. Change the order that he is doing the thing with the thing. Come on, brain. Let's go. Let's work here, brain. He needed to start his streams and then launch Restream chat. So I have Restream chat working. It is echoing all of Twitch stuff, and I would assume that had I started streaming to YouTube, that it would be echoing YouTube chat as well, and we'd be able to see it in Twitch. So that said, in the future, I will probably be streaming to both YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. For any of you that only watch on YouTube and you don't want to come onto Twitch to watch live, but you do want to watch live, that'll be an option. S***N. Okay, one more thing is to change you to a question mark, you're a question mark, and you're a question, comma, mark. Source generator helper, make you nullable. Okay, one more time. I'm gonna do a full build. Emporium guy. Wait, yes, you are here. I was like, hold on, you're streaming. How are you here? I was lurking in your stream. I couldn't hear you because I had been streaming too. Saw that you started about 15 minutes before Community Day. But I was there. I was supporting you, cheering you on. Hope you had a great stream. Feel free to let us know what you are working on. Shout out to Emporium Guy. And Scott is here. Hello, Scott. You may have spoken up during Community Day at some point, but there was so much chat. And then I saw you on the Azure Static Web Apps Day. That was fun times. I really, really, really wanted to pay more attention to the Azure Static Web Apps Day material, but I was, of course, doing my job at the same time, because there's a lot of stuff that I want to restructure about this. And it was actually a question on during Community Day, which is, have I considered restructuring the application to use stuff like app functions and more cloud native technologies than what I currently have, which is an EC2 instance or a few of them running on AWS, and the applications running directly on the Windows servers running on EC2 instances. Scott says, I forgot if I did or did not. I've been working on my hobby project. I hope you've been having a ton of fun. Emporium Guy says, thank you. To be honest, it is good that you didn't hear the rant I went on Blazor renderbots. Completely understandable. It's very confusing. It's not something easy to grasp. I still struggle with it. If you write your components in a way that don't depend on how the application itself gets rendered, if it's using well, other than static. If you write your interactive components where it doesn't matter if it's running in server pre-render, server interactive, WebAssembly pre-render, WebAssembly interactive, then you should be good to go. Yeah. Then the only thing you'll do is forget that it's defaulting to static and be like, why aren't my components interactable? I need the actual... No, I don't. No, I don't. Oh. Oh, man. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. You'll hear what I'm thinking shortly. I was trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to do this. Field transformation dot combine fields rule detail. And if that returns null, then return transformation result dot failure given this error message. And I only have 2. I can't provide a string original value. That's fine. Why can't you find this? Probably because it didn't build. It'll be fine. Okay. What we're going to do then is restart the IDE again because I made a change to the... I hope I made the change to the source generator. I wish they just didn't default to server-side rendering. Definitely understandable. Scott is saying, yes, I have been having fun. Been playing around with .NET 9 features, new .NET 9 features. Reminder that in 13 days, I think it's 13 days, .NET Conf is going to start. That will be the release of .NET 9. So keep an eye open for that if you're interested in it. And thank you so much for the follow. Again, I have not been shouting at the 12th. Okay, so in 11 days, did I say 11 days? I think it's the 14th. 12th through the 14th. So yes, 11 days from now. Thank you, Scott. And hello, 8 bits per play. I'll finish my words at some point in time. 8 bits per play. Check out 8 bits per play working in Unity. He was working in Unity 6 since before his inception even. It was crazy. You should have seen him going. Anyway, he's working on sprite editors, working on his own game, doing a lot of really, really cool 2D stuff in Unity. Check out his stream if you get the opportunity to be in the Unity Community Day. That was a fun day when they released Unity 6. Okay. So I think with source generators, you just need to save the file and close the file and open it, then the error disappears. We can try that, but it doesn't really do the thing. Build. Oh, that's what's going on. So apparently I am using a... I'm using something. I've lost all of my operation fails. I've lost all of my operation fails. Transformation result dot error dot failure. Close. Awesome. Thank you, Dukasoft. 8 bits per play says, ironically, I started to work on testing out builds for Unity 6.1 alpha last night. He's already going to the next version. Oh man. Testing anything cool? Okay. So potentially we can change the source generator that is going to generate. This is a change. Save. Close the source generator helper. Oh, yeah, let's look at the generated file. And that would appear underneath apply. So it should be right here. Close the source generator file. I'm rebuilding. Why are you saying that operation failed message doesn't exist in the context? Because it doesn't. Because this is mapping. Okay. I close the source generator file. I rebuild, closing the generated file. And 8-bit says, I'm currently being asked to test out some Maui-like features for Unity in 6.1. Unity has been slowing working on a UXML-based system. Sorry for the hiccups. To not only make in-game UI, but also desktop, mobile, and web browser apps. That would be awesome. Oh, that was funny. Twitch messages can't start with a period. They can if you put a space. So space period .NET conf. I was tricked. Wait, you were able to? Yeah, I guess maybe when you're a mod. Yeah. It is pretty nice, honestly, says 8-bits per play. Imagine web browser UI apps with support for Unity, physics, and shader effects using WebGL or WebGPU. I would be super excited about that. Absolutely. So I can imagine it. Okay, now that it's done building, we're going to check the generated file again. Look for the comment that I wrote, and not there. So, I mean, like the last thing that I read about this, the updated post, if I recall correctly, was from 2021, where you still have to close Visual Studio and reopen it in order to get the generated files to actually update. Oh, you knew you could use space before the time. Nice. Okay, and random comment. Okay. That's sad still. When do you think they're gonna allow source generators to be on .NET Standard 2.1? That would be nice. 8-bit says, seen a funky demo app where the UI trolled the user by running away from the player. That sounds terrible. It's kind of like the PowerPoint one from 1996, 7, 8, where people were just, oh no, it was actually a website where people were just learning how to use JavaScript, and there was a button that says click here to dismiss. You move the mouse over to it, move somewhere else, and move the mouse to it, move somewhere else. Okie dokie. Where are we? We were on combined rule. Still focused. No errors anymore. Everything is there. I do need to create a... I've been using consts for this so that I can test. So that I can test this easier. Oh, duh. Know what I forgot? I did start overwriting the mapping rules base for stuff that I wanted to add. Dang it. So this is possibly why the combined rules, the combined field rule was successful. 8 bits per play says, doesn't .NET Standard 2.1 have the .NET runtime versions up to .NET 9 RC1? I have no idea if enabled already. I could be wrong, but I think enabling certain flags allow for source generators. No, only limited features. Oh, never mind, they last added .NET 8 API. None of the stuff for .NET 9 into .NET Standard. Ugh. The documentation says up to 8.0 on the site for .NET Standard 2.1. Thanks for looking that up. Great, great, fantastic, and wonderful. How was I doing this? Dictionary of string, transformation results, to give us back a list of all transformation results for mapping rule. Yeah, we're going to go with the base thing that I have in our test, get that to pass, and then I'll figure out what I've been doing with all of this stuff. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. So your question about source generators might actually already be doable. Did you say test? So Tyron, welcome in if you haven't been lurking already. I just wanted to say thank you for encouraging me, even though you were probably just saying things about test, but encouraging me to go ahead and try doing this from a test first perspective. It's definitely helping me. Like, one, I've already caught a lot of stuff while I was writing the original, the test for the things that I've already implemented. I've already caught a few things that were going to be bugs if I left them. And two, it's helping me to clearly define what this new mapping rule is that I'm trying to implement now. So I did go ahead and drop trying to do it in the UI, and now we're doing actual unit test and integration tests. And I say both because I'm pretty sure that the value transformation tests are unit tests. The combine, what did I call that one? Chaining tests. Oh, the chaining test I put with the first in the series of transformations that I wanted to test. I put them in that class, but these would be integration tests. These are unit tests. But yeah, it should make iterating on each separate transformation much quicker and adding new transformations. Absolutely. But right now it's this mapping rule here, which is that I want to combine two fields that are also getting transformed and then mapping them. Yeah, okay. And that's why this thing is taking me to... Poopy pants. It's taking me to poopy pants. Thank you, Dukasoft. What did I do here? Okay. The mistake that I made was that I had this source generator, and you saw the process that it took for me to get the source generator to update, which was that I needed to make the change in the file that creates the code, save that, make sure everything builds, and then close Visual Studio, reopen Visual Studio, find something wrong with it, same process over. So what I decided to do instead is for any changes that I needed to make to the base class, I would do it in a partial base class, add those things, and once those are solid, once those are stable, move them into the source generator as part of the base class. Oh no. Oh no. And what's going to happen if you try a valid statement? Nothing. It says, I'm not going to answer you. Good job, Tyron. Okay. And 8-bits, by the way, I wasn't ignoring you, sorry. The thing is that even with that in mind, I could change the target version, and I think the source generator breaks. If I recall correctly. Yeah. Wait, that's somewhere else. Oh, yes, it does. So source generator cannot be created from .NET Standard 2.1. So that's what I meant by are they going to allow you to create source generators targeting .NET Standard 2.1. But if you do know how, then that would be cool. I'd be interested in it. I guess another thing to keep in mind is I can't update the which package is it? The system.code DOM to the latest version, nor code analysis. Nope, analyzers to 3.1. 3.11, sorry. Because if I do, then it complains to me and it says you are no longer allowed to use... Where's my source generator? You're no longer allowed to use iSource generator. You need to use incremental generator. And when I try to do that, a lot of other stuff breaks. So yeah, don't know how to use that yet. I'll probably update this later, but for now, this source generator works. Okay. Gosh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I'm gonna take the contents of my new base class. Oh, how do I do this? Okay, does anyone have any recommendations? No. You don't even know what all I did in this part. Oh, that's right. Your channel name is still going to be the same, but I need to update the message. Stream elements. Oh, the channel name changes too. Oh, that might not be good for your existing viewers. Oh no. No, this whole time, though, that link there is from when I had the typo. Anyway, so it's not even pointing to Andreas Sestev. So, Andreas Sestev is now Anna Sestev. Yeah. Anna? If you're still listening, remember that changing your channel, your display name, will change your channel name too, so you need to let everyone know that you're now on the new link. So anyway, I'm updating Stream Elements message. I'm updating the one that I shout out on TBD stream. Yeah. Oh, cool. She already posted it on Discord. Where is dashboard? How do you get to dashboard in Stream Elements? It's such a hard site to navigate. I'm sure I would have seen it if I didn't turn notifications off for Discord. Stream Elements. Take me to my dashboard. Chatbot. Timers. Other streamers. And assess dev now. And assess dev. Copy. Copy. Save. So the timers are going to start over, which is good though, because we're back at the first announcement for that one. And they put Anna. She develops. Oh my gosh, so many typos. Why didn't anyone tell me I had so many typos? It was 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. Notepad. Mod. I am so blind.